Good afternoon, race fans. Welcome here to our 13th race of the season, the third season of the SRA Duracell Cup Series. It is the last race of the first half of the regular season, which means that these drivers, after today, will have their sights focused on All-Star Race Break over at Charlotte Motor Speedway, but the last opportunity of getting into the All-Star race through a points-paying win is today at the Fuel Motorsports Park. 50 laps of racing here today at our second dirt track stop of the season. On the pole position for today's race is going to be J Deaver. Deaver comes into this race 10th overall in the point standings, and I would have to just quickly double check, but I believe he is the second rookie pole sitter on the year. The only other rookie that has a pole so far this season with a yellow stripe on the back is A Kolano. So we'll see if good starting track position is going to get J Deaver possibly his first win of his career, and he may become the fourth different rookie to actually take a checkered flag this season behind Nathan Ormond, N Hudson, and Jacob Thibodeaux. Defending winner of this race will line up alongside of him. That is Michael Norman. Michael actually had a good run at Darlington last week. He's starting to actually put some good finishes together. He's now up to 24th in the standings, and obviously coming to a track where he is the defending winner. He would love to see lightning strike twice and pick up his first win of the season. It's kind of interesting. We've got rookie Michael Norman Motorsports car, rookie Michael Norman Motorsports car in the first two rows. We've got the rookie on the inside line third. That's A Macklin. And on his outside, J Llamas in the 84. Cody was a two-time winner as a rookie last season, and he's actually been very quiet, kind of under the radar in his consistency so far this season. He's 11th in the points coming into this one, so we'll see if maybe he can go to victory lane. I'm trying to remember back. I might be wrong, but it seems like I remember him actually winning a race at a dirt track last season. I'm trying to remember which dirt track it was. I think one of his two wins was at a dirt track, but I can't for the life of me remember which dirt track it was, and maybe I'm thinking of a different series as well. Maybe I'm thinking back to maybe the Hershey's Cup Series when he drove the number 20 as an uncharted car. I think maybe he won at a dirt track there, but maybe I'm thinking of both of the correct things, and maybe I'm thinking of something entirely different. But nonetheless, we're getting ready to go racing here at Fuel Motorsports Park. This is kind of like New Hampshire, but dirt covered, so it's a flatter track, not a whole lot of banking for these drivers to be able to tuck their right rears into for grip. So we're going to maybe see some slipping and sliding around, and I think we're going to see a caution or two before this race is over as well. Maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe we'll go into a long green flag run and maybe see this race come down to pit stops. That's what we actually saw back at our first dirt track stop at Springfield when we saw Zach Rogers be able on green flag pit stops to take the lead and eventually the win. Now it's time to go trackside, get those most famous words in motorsports, get them rolling off, and then we'll give you a top 10 in points coming into the final race of the first half of the regular season.
Drivers, start your engines!
Well, last week at Darlington Raceway, we saw Jack Mitchell hold off the two defending Darlington winners, Dylan Young and Benny Watson. Watson finishing third, comes into this race now with a 23-point lead over William Brock. Patrick Smith, the rookie points leader, sits in third. Zach Rogers struggled last week. He dropped from second down to fourth. Jack Mitchell, with the victory last week, now moves up into the fifth position and currently is in possession of a playoff spot. Dylan Young, two-time winner and last week's runner-up. He currently sits in sixth. J Millz in seventh. R Brommer, our Texas winner, in eighth. Levi McIntyre, ninth. And pole sitter J Deaver, as mentioned, currently is in 10th. Four former winners up inside the top 10. The rest of the former winners this season that are trying to keep themselves in potential position for a playoff spot. Carter Friesen in 14th. J Qualls in 16th. N Hudson 23rd. Nathan Norman 25th. And C Sandfer in 26th. The only two drivers outside the top 30 in points, Daytona 500 winner Carson Gum. He's 15 points behind 30th in standings, currently sits in 34th. And Jacob Thibodeaux moved up to 38th last week, but he is still 30 points behind 30th in the standings. Green flag in the air. Let's roll at Fuel Motorsports Park. These drivers will mostly be fighting for the inside line and the second groove. I don't think you'll see anyone venture up to the third lane because there's not a whole lot of grip up there. Deaver clears for the lead. Michael Norman, though, going to put up a fight. Ooh, he thought about it. Lifted a little bit there as he was almost about to run into the back of J Deaver. And that little bit of a lift there actually brings J Llamas to his back bumper for second. Almost pushed him into the corner, did Llamas. May have pushed him up the track a bit. That opens the door. Cody Llamas looking for the second spot. You see how these drivers almost look like they're tiptoeing through the corners. Well, bear in mind, they're still going 100 miles per hour through these turns. That's actually very fast for a dirt track. But you don't want to overstep the cushion, that's for sure. Aaron Macklin's going to clear Carson Gum for fourth, but not for long. Matthew Rodriguez now takes a peek down to the inside. Got some good momentum there off turn 4, did Rodriguez, and he might get the position as we got a battle for the lead. Michael Norman puts a nose to the inside of Cole Deaver for the top spot. When we get to the conclusion of this race, 1 year ago, Michael Norman was a two-time winner, winning at the first 2 dirt track stops of the season, Springfield and here at Fuel Motorsports Park. So far this season, he has not had a win. And he is still trying to clear Deaver. He might have him here at the start-finish line. He does, and now Cody Llama says, I want to make it an M&M 1-2. He's going to go to the inside of Deaver for second place. Rodriguez is cleared for fourth. He's now closing in on this trio. Good battle going on for fifth place. Austin Kolano is going to take the spot. J Millz, the most winningest driver in the Duracell Cup Series, trying to move into the sixth position past Aaron Macklin. Phil Parker, very well-known dirt track racer in online circles, right now up in the top 10. Trying to be the fourth rookie to go to victory lane here this season. We've already had 3 drivers with yellow stripes on the bumper go to victory lane in the first the first 12 races of the season. Jacob Thibodeaux got the first one in the 3rd race of the season at Las Vegas. A few weeks later at Bristol, Nathan Ormond, and then Nathan Hudson, of course, on that fuel strategy win at Michigan. A couple of Michael Norman Motorsports Camrys, though, up front, battling for the race lead. Norman in the 18, Llamas in the 84. Neither one have a victory yet this season. So far, we've been able to remain under the green flag, which means that we could potentially see pit road come into play as third place battle is on. Con Autosports Chevrolet of Matthew Rodriguez battling S3 Motorsports Camaro of Cole Deaver. And J Millz starting to close in on this battle. Look at the rookies we got up here right now. You got Deaver in fourth. Look further back and you've got 3 rookies all clumped together. That is, I believe, 6th, 7th, and 8th. Kolano, Parker, and Hudson. Carson Gum, who is trying to work his way back into the top 30 in the point standings after a poor performance in back-to-back races. A dead last finish at Texas, and then got involved in a wreck and finished down low in the finishing results last week at Darlington. 15 points behind the cut line of 30th in the standings coming to this one, right now solidly in the 9th position. And the other driver that's trying to work his way back up into the top 30 in points, Jacob Thibodeaux, just took the 11th position away from T Wright. There's last week's winner, Jack Mitchell. Right now in the 15th position, trying to continue to ride the momentum of his win last week. And if we're trying to look at a points battle for the overall points lead, William Brock right now is in the 19th spot. Benny Watson, the points leader, way back here. I saw when they went by on the grid that he started this race way towards the back. So too did Dylan Young, a couple of drivers that finished 2nd and 3rd last week at Darlington. Right now back in the 32nd and 34th positions. And another driver that did not have a good starting spot, I believe he started dead last, Zach Rogers in the 6th. Right now he's in 37th. Nathan Norman and Ryan Brommer, a couple of former winners from Bristol and Texas back here in 39th and 40th. So both of the Bulldog Motorsports Dodges are having early struggles today, as the top 2 have checked out for the moment by almost a second, Norman and Llamas. Then you got this battle for 3rd going on between Matthew Rodriguez and J Millz. Matthew Rodriguez riding a long winless streak. We saw a winless streak snapped of 83 races last week by Jack Mitchell. Of course, that was his first career win. Matthew Rodriguez is looking for his 2nd career win and first of the season. He has not won since Season 1 Arizona. but I don't remember what number race that was, and so I can't tell you what number of a winless streak Matthew Rodriguez is on. He's about to lose the third position here to J Millz. And the 98 will have him cleared off of turn 2. Got a battle here for a top 5 position. Kolano. It's all the rookies clumped together here. Kolano, Deaver, Parker, and Hudson. And out of those rookies right there, only one of them is a former winner this season, that being Hudson at Michigan. Kolano, Deaver, and Parker are all still looking for their first wins of the season. And boy, Hudson almost ran into the back of Kolano there, and they almost could be 3 wide here. That's, man. Hudson dove it deep. Phil Parker was almost into Deaver's left rear quarter panel. That was close. J Llamas doing some experimentation, looked like right there. He ran a much different line on entry than Michael Norman did. I think he's trying to find some speed, and I think these two might need to be worried, because the guy that's laying down some really good lap times is J Millz. He actually just ran his fastest lap of the race on the 13th lap. So that car's got some good long run speed, and I think J Llamas realizes it. I think he's realizing the 98 is closing in, and he's trying to get around Michael Norman. And Cody might be a little bit better than his teammate, especially on entry, but he just can't get the momentum off the corner. And as these two continue to kind of hold each other up, so to speak, J Millz is continuing to close in. I mean, these two right here just ran 33.9s. Millz just ran a 33.8. So he is closing in by 1/10 of a second each lap. Kind of interesting too. I think I documented this back. I want to say it was at Texas. Maybe it was last week at Darlington, but it's a shocker. I think it was at Darlington. It's amazing that with the drivers that they have, Millz, Lopez, Wright, and now bringing on Levi McIntyre to their squadron, it's incredible that a team that had, I'm pretty certain it was 2 wins, it might have been 3, at this point last season, have 0 wins this season. Talking about Blue Oval Automotive. And it's not like the team overall is doing terribly either. Levi McIntyre right now 9th in the point standings for that team. The other teammates kind of struggling though. J Millz currently is, Millz is running 7th in the points as well, so he's been having a solid season. The other 2 though have been struggling just a tad. Trey Wright, 37th in points, and Jordan Lopez currently in 21st. So they're kind of intermingled all through the point standings. But the big thing is that the team has a 0 as far as their wins so far this year. Saw right there J Llamas trying to outbrake Michael Norman, and he saw the rear end housing almost come around on him. And now he's going to be looking more in his rearview mirror than out the windshield, I do believe, because J Millz is there. This is going on almost a second and a half in front of this battle now for the 4th position. Matthew Rodriguez trying to hold off Nathan Hudson. Hudson trying to join Dylan Young as a 2-time winner this season. Nathan's 23rd in the points coming into this one. I would love to be the first rookie pretty much confirmed for the playoffs. We already know Dylan Young's pretty much confirmed with his 2 wins this season. Let's drop back a little bit here because there's another driver, or 2 drivers that are just inside the top 10. Carson Gum and Jacob Thibodeaux, former winners outside the top 30 in the point standings. Adam Garcia right now in the 11th position. Of course, think back to the heartbreak of Pikes Peak when he finished runner-up to his teammate Dylan Young. He, along with Vince Almariego, now are the last 2 drivers that have started every Duracell Cup Series race to find victory lane. Charles Sandfer exited that list when he took the checkered flag at ISM earlier on this season, and of course Jack Mitchell last week exited that list with his win at Darlington. Right now, Garcia is the highest running between himself and Almariego. He just took the 10th position away from Jacob Thibodeaux. Hudson got around Matthew Rodriguez. Rodriguez crossed him over. He's going to try and take the 4th position back. I don't think he's going to get it this time. Hudson's going to clear him and keep the spot. Battle for the lead. Cody Llamas finally finds his way to the inside of Michael Norman. I think Michael's not going to be able to put up much of a fight here, because Cody's been a little bit better than him here on the long run, and now we'll see if Cody can use his teammate as a little bit of a blockade to keep the 98 of J Millz at bay. But Cody hasn't gotten by Michael Norman yet. Michael is putting up a fight on that top side. Oh, that time he got a little tight, looked like coming off of turn 4. That gave Cody the front straightaway momentum. And I think Cody's going to get clear here off of turn 2. That opened the door for second place. J Millz is now alongside of the 18 for second. Not going to get it though. Michael holds him off. So Cody goes to the lead, bypassing his teammate. Michael's going to fall back to second place. So a little bit of an exchange of positions between the teammates out of Michael Norman Motorsports. And now Cody has the pressure taken off him. Now Michael Norman has to look behind him and try defending against the 98 of J Millz. We're going to step aside for a quick commercial break as we near the halfway point. We'll be right back to the action here at Fuel Motorsports Park. Welcome back to action here at Fuel Motorsports Park. Cody Llamas continues to show the way, and there's been a great battle that's been brewing here for the second position. J Millz has not only reeled in Michael Norman, but Nathan Hudson has reeled the both of them in, and it's now a 3-man fight for the runner-up spot. Michael taking a little bit of a higher entry there into 3. I think he might have slipped up just a bit. That opens the door. J Millz is there, and Nathan Hudson waiting to see if he can maybe either make it 3 wide or follow in the tire tracks of the 98. And while this has been going on too, this battling here for second place is actually allowing Matthew Rodriguez in 5th and Phil Parker in 6th to start closing. And remember, those two were quite a ways back when we went to commercial break, and they've started reeling in these top 4, and we may have pit stops here pretty soon. I thought maybe there was pit stops going on there, because Michael, it seems like he just cannot seem to nail turn 3. That's the second time we've seen him take the high line into turn 3, so apparently that car going away as far as the handling as the run goes on. He's going to drop from 2nd now back to 4th as Hudson will pass him. Talk about Cody Llamas. I actually took the opportunity during this commercial break as well to find out where his wins were at, and the dirt track win I remember him having, pretty sure was at the Springfield Mile back during the Hershey's Cup Series when he was a non-chartered car. His 2 wins last year in Duracell Cup Series competition, they were back-to-back wins at Pocono and Richmond. So he has never had a dirt track series win in his Duracell Cup Series career. And now he's got problems, because remember, he was trying to pull away after getting by teammate Michael Norman taking the lead so that way he could get away from J Millz, but Millz has also cleared Norman, and he is there looking for the top position. We are also past the halfway point, so any pit stop they make from now till the finish, that should be the only pit stop they should have to make today. And we may actually be making pit stops now. We are, yeah. Some dust was lingering up there in turn 4. Apparently some other drivers have already hit pit road the lap prior, and just about everybody up here in the top 10 is pitting now. Levi McIntyre was on pit road a lap earlier. The Carter Friesen, our Atlanta winner also. Ryan Acosta, Jacob Thibodeaux, they've already been on pit road. Looks like some drivers staying out there. Matt Haas, Benny Watson just stayed out. I think that was Vince Almariego in the 42 that also stayed out. Along with Austin LaPlante in the 48. I believe this turns the lead over to the 8 car. It does. We'll see if Matt Haas comes to pit lane this time. Also, be interesting to see where his pit stall is on pit road. Will he cross the start-finish line with a lap-led bonus point or not? Watson, Almariego, and LaPlante are all in as well, and I believe they are the last of the drivers that have to come to pit lane. And is Matt Haas going to get the lap-led bonus point? Crosses the line, top of the board. He is indeed. Saw Matthew Rodriguez, Phil Parker, and Jacob Thibodeaux there. They all pitted the lap prior than the race leaders, and Rodriguez at least going to get out ahead of Michael Norman. He does not get out ahead of the top 3, though. Llamas comes off pit road, the leader. Hudson in second. And J Millz had a bit of a slow pit stop there. And I might be wrong, but I think he had trouble getting into his pit stall. He either had to slow up for Carter Friesen or R Acosta. And that cost him not only time on pit road, but time on the racetrack. And so now, there's really only 2 cars up here at the front of the field currently. Llamas and Hudson. And remember, Hudson already has a win this season. Cody does not. Hudson is, whoops, sorry about that. Hudson is 23rd in points. So even if he doesn't win today, he'd have a good points day with a runner-up finish that would help get him away from the 30th position in points. Let's see what his gap actually is between himself and 30th in the standings. And right now it's about 16 points. So he would definitely increase the gap between himself and 30th in the standings. But obviously a second win, certainly he would love to get that as well. Cody Llamas, on the other hand, we already documented coming into this race. He is 11th in the points. Still looking for his first win on the season. And trying as well to have Michael Norman Motorsports go back-to-back here at Fuel Motorsports Park as Michael Norman, the defending winner of this race. Pit stops have cycled around. Let's go through the field as we are going to be at 20 laps to go now. Cody Llamas currently the race leader. Nathan Hudson in second. This is the battle right now potentially for the race lead, maybe the race win if we don't end up having a caution come out in these final 20 laps, because almost 3 seconds back, about 2.9 seconds officially, is J Millz in the 3rd position. Then you got to go about another 2.6 seconds back, as we got some drivers on pit road here for a second time. Cole Baker, Jessica Shelton, Charles Belding, and Nathan Ormond. Looks like we have some drivers serving some pit penalties. Charles Sandfer and Jordan Lopez, as well as T Wright and Carson Gum. This pit road's not the easiest one to get on, so looks like we had some penalties served for speeding. It's going to hurt Carson Gum, who was right up inside the top 10. Looking here, 4th place, that's Matthew Rodriguez. But he is 5.7 seconds back from the race leaders. Jacob Thibodeaux right now runs in the 5th spot, so a well-needed run for the 33. He had that top 5 run last week at Darlington. He's running the top 5 again here at Fuel, so our Las Vegas winner looks like he's finally putting the pieces together, as V Almariego in the 42 also apparently was hit with a pit road speeding penalty. Phil Parker right now runs in 6th. 7th place would currently be, I believe, the defending winner, Michael Norman. 8th place is Adam Garcia. They're trying to work their way past some lap traffic. The 28 of T Wright and the 42 of V Almariego are off the lead lap, both having to come and serve pit road speeding penalties. Austin Kolano currently is in the 9th position, and we saw Matt Haas stay out with Benny Watson and others for an extra lap. That has gotten him now up into the top 10 in that 10th position. Carter Friesen runs in 11th. R Acosta, the defending champion, is in 12th. 13th place right now is William Brock. Looks like Jordan Lopez has trapped a lap down, as is Aaron Macklin. Levi McIntyre now is in 14th, and Jesse Turner currently would be 15th. 16th is under contest right here between Cole Deaver and Jack Mitchell. Deaver, of course, starting on the pole. Mitchell, the winner from last week at Darlington. 18th place is where we find the points leader, Benny Watson. 19th is Keith Batson, and right now completing your top 20. Got a good battle for the 20th position on back. You got Austin LaPlante there, Kyle Mathews in 21st, Mitchell Collins 22nd, James Qualls 23rd, Ryan Butcher in 24th, Marcus Saatchi 25th, 26th Dylan Young. And looks like Patrick Smith, rookie points leader, got hit with a pit road speeding penalty. He is also off the lead lap. This is the best battling on the track right now for the 20th position. We'll go back further through the field, though, as right now in 27th is Johnny Gardner, 28th Zach Rogers. And I believe he is the last car on the lead lap. Yes, he is. Texas winner Ryan Brommer right now multiple laps down, along with Shelton, Baker, Ormond as well there in the 41. And the battle for the lead has kind of opened up a little bit too. Now 0.6 of a second between Llamas and Orman. Remember, two of the cars that were the best on the long run before the pit stops were Cody Llamas and J Millz. So, looks like, well, actually Hudson had a good long run car too, because he was able to reel in the top 3. So, we'll see maybe if we get a little bit longer here into the run. It's been about 10 laps since they all were on pit road, so maybe Hudson's got something for Cody Llamas. Still quite a ways to go. As he hit the line there, we still have a total of 13 laps remaining. So it's not like Nathan Hudson's opportunity is completely gone. Best battle on track right now for position. Let's see if we can find it. It might be this one right here. You got lead lap cars and lap cars all intermingled. Matt Haas right now in 9th. Kolano there, the bright yellow 81. He is in 10th. And then you got Carter Friesen there as well. That's 9th, 10th, and 11th. That's about the best battle we got right now, at least up towards the front of the field. You got T Wright, the lap car, intermingled in this, as Friesen tries to go around to the outside. You know, looking at the point standings here, and Kolano's another of those guys, kind of like Cody Llamas leading this race, who's been very quietly consistent here at the start of the season. He's 12th in the overall points. Yeah, he's currently running 3rd highest of the rookies as far as the overall and rookie point standings, but it's been a very good year for him as well. And as a matter of fact, if you look at him running there in 10th, you've got all 3 of the Michael Norman Motorsports Toyotas up inside the top 10. Norman right now in a fight for 8th with Matt Haas, and of course Llamas leading this race, so good performance here out of the M&M Camrys. It's like Matt Haas is going to clear Michael Norman, who again looks like he just does not have the long run car. We saw him lose the lead on the long run before the only round of green flag pit stops that we're likely to see here today, as this next time around Cody Llamas in the 84 will be hitting 10 laps to go. The gap between himself and Nathan Hudson hasn't really increased or decreased for the most part. It's kind of fluctuated between half a second to 7/10, which is where it's at right now. The last time by, Cody ran a 34.0. Hudson ran a 34.2, so he lost 2/10. We'll see if he can gain it back here. Between Llamas and Hudson back on the first run before the pit stops, I'm pretty certain Hudson had the better long run car, so whatever adjustment they made on the pit stop of the 84, they've been able to kind of counter that. This time the interval grows by about another maybe 7/100ths. That's exactly what the interval was, exactly 7/100ths that Llamas bested Hudson by that time. Llamas still running in the 34.0s. Hudson's having difficulty keeping it down that low. He just ran a 34.1 last time around. And now the thing that's not really on his side is time. He's currently about 0.8 of a second behind Cody Llamas, who is currently faster than him here on this long run. And we're under 10 laps to go. That time by. Interval actually closed up a tad. Llamas ran a 34.0, and that time by, Hudson actually ran a 33.9. Another thing that might come into play, I don't know if there's enough time for it, but J Shelton is currently running multiple laps down in the 39th position. And she's not that far ahead of race leader Cody Llamas, maybe about a corner or so. When she exited out of turn 4, Llamas was in the middle of 3 and 4. So I don't necessarily know as he hits 7 laps to go here. Actually, yep, it is 7 laps. I was going to say, where's the ticker updating itself? But now it updates itself. 7 laps to go. I don't know if he's going to catch the 0-2 or not. If he does, Shelton's got no affiliation with either Llamas or Hudson. I don't know if there would be a Chevy manufacturer alliance where she might try and help the 24 or not. So to also think about, too, the fact that looks like if Cody can close the deal, we're going to head into the All-Star race break with 12 different race winners in the first 13 races. And when you consider the fact that the playoffs only holds 16 drivers, there's only going to be room for 4 more drivers to win if all of our former winners go up into the top 30 in points. So, I mean, we've seen this in the last 2 seasons, and it's going to be the same old story here in Season 3. A lot of drivers who have found victory lane here in Season 3, I don't think will be taking part in the playoffs. So it's really going to come down to not only getting that win, but remaining consistent through the entire regular season. 5 laps to go for Cody Llamas. The interval now continues to chip down a little bit between himself and Hudson, but not nearly by enough for Hudson to be on Llamas' back bumper by the time they get to the white flag. It's about 0.6 of a second now. Hudson continuing to run in the 33s. Llamas is running in the 34.0s. So the interval that Hudson's chipping in is definitely just little by little. He needs a big chunk in the next 2 or 3 laps if he's going to have a shot at Cody Llamas with 2 to go or even on the white flag lap. Let's see if the interval closes down this time. That time Cody ran in the 33s, a 33.9. Hudson ran a 34.0, so Llamas was actually better that time. And the gap now 0.7 of a second as Shelton maybe about 10 car lengths ahead of Cody Llamas. If they catch Shelton, right now it looks like it would possibly be somewhere on the white flag lap. And if Hudson's not close enough to capitalize, Cody might be able to make quick work of Shelton, or maybe just be content to ride behind her and not even have a challenge from Hudson. But again, as I said earlier, I mean, even if Hudson doesn't get this victory, even if he doesn't become a 2-time winner here today, just the fact that he comes into this race a former winner at Michigan, 23rd in the points. He was 16 points ahead of the cut line, I believe. Yep. He's going to really do a good job points-wise here today of keeping himself up there in the top 30 in points, keeping himself ahead of that cut line. Very solid performance out of him. J Millz. He was really up there fighting for the lead before the pit stops began, but still going to be another great run for him, even though he's still looking for his first win on the season, 7th in the point standings. Most wins in Duracell Cup Series history, and solid runs here for Matthew Rodriguez as well, a guy that comes in this race 36th in points. And of course, Jacob Thibodeaux, we documented him. Good run at Darlington last week, a top 5 run, moved from 40th to 38th. And right now, battling for the 5th position with Matt Haas, but looks like he'll leave with a top 10 regardless. Question is, will it be a top 5? Haas continuing to hound him for that spot. As Cody Llamas this time around will see the white flag. 1 more lap to go. Last year, it wasn't until just before the playoffs that Cody Llamas hit the back-to-back wins at Pocono and Richmond in his rookie season. And now, just a half of a track left to go here at Fuel Motorsports Park, and he'll be picking up a dirt track win and 3rd win of his Duracell Cup Series career. More importantly, 1st win of the season and potentially a playoff position. On the back bumper of Shelton, looks like he's not going to make a move on her. Doesn't need to. No challenge from Hudson. Cody Llamas to the line will win at Fuel Motorsports Park. And coming into this race, 11th in the overall point standings. He's going to be in good points position with that win as well. As far as possibly locking up a playoff position, now he's just got to navigate the choppy waters of the second half of the regular season. And I believe he would have already been locked in because his 2 wins last year came after last year's All-Star race break. But this is just another moniker, if you will, that puts Cody Llamas into the All-Star race here for Season 3 of the Duracell Cup Series. Nathan Hudson going to bring it home in 2nd. J Millz in 3rd, Rodriguez 4th, and Matt Haas did get 5th place from Jacob Thibodeaux in the closing stages. A great run for Matt Haas, a guy that struggled last week at Darlington, dropped in the points. This will help him to bounce back. Let's take a look at our full finishing results from today's race. We gave you the top 5. Thibodeaux dropped to 6th there in the closing stages, but still another great outing for him. Back-to-back top 10s for our Las Vegas winner. Adam Garcia, good run for him in 7th. Very solid outing for him. We saw his young motorsports teammate Dylan Young looked like he was maybe going to be a contender, but I think he kind of faded back there. I don't know what happened with the 2. Phil Parker, how about that? Good run here for a guy that's very well known to be a good dirt track racer. He'll bring it home in 8th. I believe he is the 3rd highest of the rookies that finished. And then you got Cole Deaver, the pole sitter, right there as well in 9th. So 4 rookies here at a dirt track, finishing up inside the top 10. And the defending winner of this race, Michael Norman, going to bring it home in the 10th position. So not a win, but a good run for a guy that's really been struggling so far in the point standings and maybe we'll be on the verge of a win. This is definitely a step in the right direction. All three Michael Norman Motorsports cars did not finish in the top 10, though, because Kolano fell out of the top 10 near the closing stages. He'll finish in 11th, though, so good run still for all three of those machines. Carter Friesen, didn't talk a whole heck of a lot about him before we went back and saw his battle with Kolano, but a good run for our Atlanta winner. Friesen going to finish in the top 15 with a 12th place run. Keith Batson, another driver we didn't really talk a whole lot about. He'll finish in 13th. Jesse Turner in 14th, and William Brock there in 15th. Now, this is an interesting one with Brock because he came in 23 points behind Benny Watson in the standings, and Watson is going to finish the day out in 22nd. So Brock isn't going to gain a lot, but he does gain a bit in the point standings on Benny Watson. I think he'll gain about 7 points. That means he'll be about 16 points behind Watson heading into the second half of the regular season. The rest of the top 20 were Ryan Acosta, Jack Mitchell, Levi McIntyre, James Qualls, and Mitchell Collins. You look on down here through the rest of the finishing results. 28th was Dylan Young, last car on the lead lap, and then all these drivers were drivers that lost laps because of pit road speeding penalties during the round of green flag pit stops. Carson Gum, 29th, Lopez, 30th, 31st in Aaron Macklin, Trey Wright, Vince Almariego, Charles Sandfer, Charles Belding, Nathan Ormond, Patrick Smith, as well as Cole Baker, Jessica Shelton, and Ryan Brommer. So, that definitely hurt them with getting penalties under green flag conditions, as we had no cautions during the course of this race. But that's going to do it. Next up, it's All-Star Race Break from the Charlotte Motor Speedway. That's going to be coming up next. Hope you guys enjoyed today's race here from Fuel Motorsports Park. Cody Lamas, your winner. If you enjoyed today's race, be sure to give us a like, subscribe, become part of the crew today. We're showing you full 50 results. These are your your overall points heading into All-Star Race Break. We'll see you guys next for points racing at the Coke 600 at Charlotte. Till then, I've been Seth Cole. You've been watching Production NNSCRA, offline racing at its best.